Hi, I'm Toga, and today I have for you a 20-minute bed yoga. So this class is specifically designed for you to be able to do it in your bed. You can also do it on your couch if your couch is big enough, and you can also do it on your mat. I'm going to practice on my mat today just so you can see what I'm doing, but this is a class specifically designed for someone who is in a bed or wants to be in a bed. So if you have any blankets or pillows within your comfy area, that's good to maybe have off to the side just in case you want a prop for any of these poses. But other than that, you don't need anything except whatever is going to make you the most comfortable. So when you're ready, if you are not already in a supine position, we'll go ahead and get started that way. We're going to be supine, that means laying down, for the entirety of the class today. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable, and then we'll come into a short centering here. So you can lie down in whatever way is most comfortable for you. You can close down your eyes if that feels okay, or maybe gaze down the tip of your nose. And just bring your awareness to your body here. Maybe to the space you're in. Bringing any awareness to any sounds or smells, any feelings, any thoughts you're noticing. And you can keep doing that. Or if it feels comfortable, you can start to bring some awareness to your breath, to your inhales and your exhales. And you don't have to change anything about them. You can just be an observer, see where you're at today. And then when you're ready, you can softly blink your eyes open if they were closed. And then we'll get started with a variation of sun salutations. So on your inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up as high as is comfortable here. So perhaps they only lift a couple of inches, perhaps they come up a little bit higher. And on your exhale, you'll lower your arms back down to the bed or to the mat. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting your arms up as high as feels comfortable. Maybe you flex the hands, maybe you don't. Exhale, lowering them back down. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting the arms up. And exhale, lowering them back down. Seeing if you can have some control here. Beautiful. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up and see if you can step that right foot in a little bit closer towards your sit bones. You can stay right here if this feels good, or if you want, you can lift that foot up and interlace both hands around your right shin, seeing if you can draw your right knee a little bit closer towards your chest. If any little intuitive movements might feel nice here, if you want to sort of rock that knee back and forth, or maybe make little circles with it, I invite you to do that. But staying in stillness can also feel really nice. So just take whatever's calling to you. And then you can release that right leg. And we'll do the same thing with the left. Inhale, stepping that left foot in a little closer towards your sit bones. Option to stay right here. Or you can lift that left foot up and interlace your hands around the outside of that left shin, pulling that left knee in a little bit more as if you could draw it a little closer towards your chest. Making sure to find your breath in any of these poses so that you're not losing it. And then lowering that left foot down and then extending both of your legs long. pausing for a moment here before stepping both of your feet in. Again, option to stay right here, feet a little bit closer to the sit bones, or if it feels good, you can lift both feet up this time, bringing both of your knees in towards your chest. Don't feel like you need to really drag those knees all the way in. Just come to a comfortable position, and you can stay in stillness, or again, if you'd like to take some rocking movements, or perhaps some circles, first going in one direction and then switching and going in the other direction. That's an option too. So take whatever version of this feels comfortable in your body today. And when you're ready, you can place your feet back down on the mat. And then we'll come into supine Baddha Konasana, so a supine butterfly pose. So this is where if you do have maybe a pillow or a blanket nearby in your bed, that could be helpful. Here I have my blocks on the side of the mat, so I'm going to use these. So I'm going to put one block on either side of the mat. If you have a blanket or a pillow, that can be your little block substitution. And then the soles of your feet are going to press together and letting your knees just kind of come out to the side here. And feel free to stack your pillows or your blankets and make them as high as you need. The blocks have 3 heights, so you can use whatever you need to use here to get this in a comfortable position. And then your hands can come either to your body, maybe one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your heart, or your hands can come out to the side in a diagonal position. Maybe your palms turn up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can shift your shoulder blades underneath your body a little bit more. And breathe into this pose. See where you might be feeling any sensation. Remembering that at any point, if you feel any discomfort or pain, you can always come out of this pose. You can always take something else that feels better for your body. These are just suggestions to help you along the way, and they are not mandatory. So if something doesn't feel right for you, of course, feel free to use a different variation or change as you need to. Take a few more nice breaths here. Again, bring some of that awareness into your body. How are you feeling? How does this feel? And what sensation are you experiencing? Take one more nice breath here. And release it. And when you're ready, you can put your hands to the outside of your knee or maybe the outside of your thigh, and then just gently lift your legs up so you can bring them back together a little bit. If you have those props, you might want to shift them off to the side so that they're not in your way, because we'll do some windshield wipers here. So you're going to walk your feet to a little bit of a wider stance. If you are on a mat, it's about the width of the mat. If you're in your bed, you can just sort of eyeball it and figure out what feels good. And then you're just going to let your knees drop gently to one side of the mat and then the other. Again, your hands can be on your body here, or if you want a little bit more support, it could be on your bed or your couch or your mat, offering a little bit of like a kickstand here. And see how slowly you can move here, just really letting those knees drop down from either side. If it feels good, you can even engage the core here. See if you can add a little bit of activation in your abdominal area so that the movement is coming a little bit from that core. And you can do that by imagining that belly button pulling in towards the back of your spine. But only do that if it feels okay and that's something your body seems to be calling for today. Otherwise, just gentle windshield wipers back and forth are perfect. And when you feel even and equal on both sides, the next time your knees drop over to the right side of your bed or your mat, leave them there for a moment. If you have that pillow or that blanket or whatever prop you were using before and you want to sort of slip that underneath that right knee to act as a little bit of support, that's an option here. Another option is to take that right foot and gently rest it on top of the left knee to add a little bit of weight here as you sort of pull that knee a little closer to the ground. But only do that if that feels okay and your body seems to be accepting of that kind of movement right now. And you can always use that prop or whatever you were using earlier to act as additional support here too. And then if you have that right foot up, you can always slip it off. And then inhale, bring those knees back up. Pause at the top for a moment here. If you need to sort of reshift around, if you've moved out of alignment, if you want to come back to a neutral spine position, feel free to do that here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to drop your knees over towards the left this time. An option to stay right here, option to take that prop or that pillow, whatever you're using, and slide it underneath that left knee this time. And if it feels good and you want to do that little bit of extra weight on your right leg this time, you can lift your left foot and just gently place it on the outside of that right knee. And that'll offer a little bit of support, a little bit of extra weight, pulling that knee a little bit closer to your bed. But of course, only do that if that feels okay in your body today. And remember that our bodies change from day to day. So what we did yesterday might not be right for our body today, and vice versa. So just be gentle with yourself. Find your breath here. Make sure you haven't lost it. And if that left foot is on top of that right, gently remove it. And then gently bring both knees back up towards the ceiling. And then you can walk your feet in a little bit more and then coming into a constructive rest. So let those knees just knock together so that you're in the center of your bed or your mat with your knees up, but they're kind of fallen in on top of each other. Again, your hands can be anywhere that feel comfortable. You can see today I've been having them more on my body because I need a little bit more grounding. But you can always have them out to the side too, maybe your palms facing up if you're looking for maybe a little bit more inspiration or creativity. And just pause here, being aware of that breath, being aware of any sensations you're maybe feeling now that you weren't at the start of class, or maybe you're feeling pretty much the same, which is also totally normal. Beautiful. On your next inhale, you can either take your hands and kind of help guide your knees back apart, or you can just walk your feet together. And then you can extend your legs long again. And we'll set up for a version of supine tree. So we'll start with the right foot coming up So there's a couple different options here. You can just take that right leg and press your right foot against the inside of your left shin, and then let the right knee fall out to the side. Again, this is where if you were using a prop, a blanket, a pillow, anything like that, if you're on the mat, your block, slipping that block underneath that open right knee can feel really nice, a little additional support. If you want to get a little deeper, you can always lift that right foot up to the inside of your left thigh instead of the shin. And that'll be a little bit of a deeper stretch, perhaps in your hip. So take whatever version of this works for you today. Find your breath here. Your hands can again be off to the side on your body, or if you want to get some more of that sort of like tree arm vibe, you can always lift your arms up overhead as if you were a tree. One more breath here. And then on your exhale, you can slide that right foot back down. You can bring your hands back down, and then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So inhale, left foot comes up. The foot can either come to the inside of that right shin, or it can come up to the thigh. Option again to use whatever prop you had nearby if that feels good and helpful. And then find your breath here. Hands can be by your side, on your body, or they can come up into those tree arms. Feel free to take whatever a version of this feels good and safe in your body today. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then exhale. Extend your legs long. Return your arms to your sides. And then we'll set up for a waterfall. So you can walk your feet in again. And then a few options here. If you want to just lift your feet up off the mat and have your knees bent like so, that is an option. Or if you'd like to start to extend your legs into a waterfall, just taking a gentle inversion here, that's an option too. I'm going to keep my legs a little bent today, but take whatever version of this feels good. And just breathe here for a moment. Being aware of your body and any sensations you might be feeling, the cadence and the quality of your breath today. And then on your next exhale, you can lower your legs back down. And then we'll just take a gentle, and just another windshield wiper here, just to sort of wring everything out. So you can walk your feet a little bit further apart, and then just do maybe one or two more windshield wipers, letting your body just sort of move through this motion here, knees dropping off to the left and the right, until you feel even and equal. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees back up to center and extend your legs long, and we'll set up for our Shavasana here. So you can take whatever Shavasana is comfortable for you, and feel free to use anything that's in your bed, any blankets, any pillows to get really comfortable. See if you can shift your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit more. Maybe you're using something on your hips to add a little extra weight. Find a version of this that works for you, that makes you feel comfortable and safe. And then if it feels okay, you can close down your eyes or gaze down the tip of your nose. Allowing this time of integration for body and mind. And if you're holding on anywhere else, now is the time to let go. Start to bring some awareness back into your space, back into your body. If you can stay in Shavasana for another 5 or 10 minutes, please do that. If you'd like a meditation or a breath awareness, you can find those also on my YouTube page. But if you're coming out of this now, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe do a stretch if that feels good. Stretching your arms overhead or extending your arms and legs long. And then if you're staying in your bed, if you're going to sleep, or if you're just staying in your bed for a while, feel free to just either roll to one side or the other. Get comfortable in other ways. If you're coming up into a seated position, you can always roll over to either side of your bed or your mat, and then gently push yourself into an upright position, going as slow as you need to just make sure that you don't get lightheaded or dizzy. And wherever you are, if you're upright or if you're lying down, taking a moment to take one last breath together. Inhaling if you'd like to lift your arms up. I invite you to do that too. Exhaling, bringing your arms to heart center. And then bowing your head wherever you are to seal in your practice. Thank you for practicing bed yoga with me today. I'm Toga. Be well.